Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're going to take a look at the new community day for Tynamo. I literally just made a video which I'm completely gonna scrap and you're not gonna see about the potential of Tynamo, because as we can see here real quick, the Niantic just decided to tease this community half an hour earlier, and so I decided to use my last half an hour to try to look what moves it could learn and whatever. But yeah, now we're gonna know what it learns anyway. So still, if you enjoy this video, feel free to leave a like, would really appreciate it. But anyway, you're gonna see here, it is going to learn the move Volt Switch, because it's everything that any kind of electric type nowadays is going to learn. I don't know, like it is definitely better. It's definitely going to help this Pokemon out quite a bit, but it is not going to make this Pokemon too great. It's still going to make this Pokemon a bit better. We're going to take a look at this a little bit later as well. Anyway, we're going to see here, hatch distance going to be lowered. Hooray, not really a great one anyway, so yeah, it's not going to be the best community today. I don't even know when it starts. It said here in the beginning most likely July 21st from 2 PM till 5 PM. That's going to be quite a lovely one. Otherwise, everything is kind of the same. We're going to get timed research with 4 Unova stones, because you need to use them to evolve this Pokemon. Isn't that lovely? We're going to have some field research rewards, basically the same as always. Here's the shiny variant, which I had also already here for the last video, which you're never gonna see because it's pointless at this point, so why should I upload it? But yeah, this is going to be the shiny. Shiny kind of cool, to be fair. I like the shiny quite a bit, especially the fully evolved form. The other forms are barely changing. I think it's going to look a little bit better, by the way, in-game compared to this picture here, because the graphics are a little bit lower resolution. Usually it looks better in-game, to be fair. So that's going to be it about this one. Anyway, here's the current moveset. I didn't actually want to be on this thing yet, but like it is what it is. This current moveset here, where we only have as a fast move Spark and Acid, so it's not going to be too like good for them anyway, like Spark and Acid. And so it's kind of great to have here Volt Switch. You have to do a lot of damage with that. You have like Crunch or Liquidation or Dragon Claw as like your secondary one. Then you have just Acid Spray to completely annoy the opponents. And honestly, it's kind of wild on what kind of this Pokemon can do. I actually would recommend you to not run Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt always going to be better in like calculations, but like where's the fun if like the opponent can predict that you have electric type moves? Like look at this, you have Liquidation. I feel like the best moveset for me personally would be then the Volt Switch, the Dragon Claw, and the Liquidation. Dragon Claw the fast one, Liquidation gives you coverage against your only weakness, which is ground typing. Ground typing is not really ideal, but also electric type moves are getting resisted by Dragon type Pokemon, which means Dragon Claw is going to have a great time there as well. And so actually this Pokemon maybe has some more potential than I actually thought in the beginning, but it's still a little bit tricky. Why it's a little bit tricky is the CP here. For example, 3100 CP basically as a maximum for level 50 is not the best of them all. It's also not the worst, but like don't use it for Master League. That's basically what I want to say with that. Don't use it for Master League. It is not worth it for Master League. But it is quite an interesting one here for the Ultra League and Great League most likely. The issue is though that the best stat of this Pokemon is the attack stat. And this is like the issue for most electric type Pokemon. This is why I kind of wanted to take a look at other kind of moves this Pokemon could learn, like Electro Web, which I still want to see in the game. Please, Niantic, put Electro Web into the game. Would appreciate it. Please do it finally. It is basically the same as Ice Wind for electric type Pokemon. Yes, Ice Wind is annoying on Dewgong, but it's only because Dewgong is a very bulky Pokemon with a great defensive typing. Electric type Pokemon are pretty frail in Go Battle League, and so giving it Electro Web would just help them out, in my opinion. I think the issue for me by running Liquidation is just that the Pokemon has so horrible stats for the Go Battle League that if you don't go for Thunderbolt and go for the pure damage, it is not going to win neutral matchups anymore, which is like why it kind of floats down. Like based on typing itself, it would make sense to go for this one, but I guess, yeah, not today. Anyway, we're going to take a look here now as well at the next slide, which is going to be here where I was trying to compare everything. And basically I can get rid of everything here other than like those, basically where I can go for, instead of Electro Web, we're just going to go for Liquidation, see how things are going to change. Yeah, kinda an issue there. We're going to see that Electros with a Volt Switch instead of Spark only going to gain matchups and doesn't really lose any matchups, which is kind of cool. Let's take a look at the two-shield scenario, which is kind of interesting for me as well. And we're going to see here that it's kind of horrible for this one as well. Look at this, it's kind of not going to do anything. So like it's not really going to be impactful, but it's better with Liquidation and two-shield scenario. That's already a win in my books, as we see here. It is, yeah, I don't know, like I cannot really sell this one to you. Like honestly, I don't think it's going to be a great community day, and this is like my honest opinion towards it. What I think is, Niantic is silly, but I don't think Niantic is so silly that they don't have plans to buff it in the future. I think they kind of